Well, look at this all-American waffle. Doesn't that look delicious?
4th of July special.
This is good any time of the year, though, and
Yep.
any time of the day as well. And they're so easy to make. Take a little bite here, get a little whipped cream, a little strawberry, blueberry. That's too big of a bite.
You can do it, Miss Glow. These waffles are just so light and fluffy. They're just delicious. And the strawberries and blueberries are just really good. This is a great year for berries. If you guys haven't tried any yet, go get yourself some. They are so good. Let me have some more. You guys have got to make this. Talk about an all-American breakfast. Yummy. If you're interested in learning how to make this, go ahead and join me over at my kitchen counter and we'll make this together. Talk to you later. Bye. Well, let's make these all-American waffles together. They just make a delicious brunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever you want. And you can put whatever you want on them. But this is just a great recipe. I got this recipe out of this little pamphlet that I received when I got my waffle iron. And I'm not sure if they even make this waffle iron anymore, but there's many waffle irons on the market. But this one has been a great one for us. We've had it for like 35 years, so maybe even longer, I'm not sure. But anyway, what we need are 2 eggs, and you have to separate the eggs, which I went ahead and I did before we started. It calls for 1 3/4 cup of milk, which I have in here, whole milk, and 1/4 cup of oil. So I went ahead and I put everything in here just to make it easier. It calls for 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, which I went ahead and I measured out here. 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. But I'm going to be using 1/8 cup measuring cup for that because 1/8 cup equals 2 tablespoons. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and just stir this egg yolk. And you don't have to stir it a lot, just enough to get it mixed up. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the milk and the oil. And it does help you guys if you get everything measured out prior. See how easy everything just comes together? So I'm going to go ahead and just move that over here and get it out of the way. And then the one extra thing I put in this recipe is a little bit of vanilla. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. There we go. And I'm going to stir this up. And to that I'm going to put in the 4 teaspoons of baking powder. One teaspoon of salt. There's a couple little lumps. I just want to make sure that it wasn't too much. And then our sugar. 1/8 of a cup, which is 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. Just stir it up lightly. Just to kind of combine it. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And then I'm just going to stir this up. So I'll continue stirring this for about a minute and I'll be back. Well, we have the beginning of the batter all mixed up well here. And now it's time to whip up our 2 egg whites. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on low to start with. Whip these until they're light and fluffy. fluffy, so I'll be back just as soon as we get to that point, which will take a couple of minutes. So look at these egg whites. See how quickly they come together? Let's go ahead and turn this down. That mixer's a little loud. But see how they form like stiff peaks? That's what you want. So let me unplug this before I take my beater out. And mine you just push in at the top and it comes off. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and set that over here. I'm going to get my beater out of the way. And then our next step is we're going to be folding in these egg whites into this batter that I already had stirred up. So folding is you take your egg white and you put it in and then you just lightly fold. So let me get all these in here. And then we'll fold them in. These freeze well too, you guys, so that if you made like a double batch, you can freeze some of these. It makes a great, quick breakfast or lunch, whatever. See how I'm just lightly folding this together?
Yes.
That's all there is to it. You don't want to overdo it because these egg whites are going to help make these waffles very light. Isn't that beautiful?
Looks good, Miss Claw.
Mm-hmm. Those egg whites look like clouds in that batter.
Mm-hmm.
There. I'm going to let that set for a little bit over there. Now our next step is we need to get our waffle iron ready. So what we do is we're just going to plug this in. And for mine, the light comes on.
Okay.
See how that light is on there? So when the light goes off, that means that the waffle iron, for at least for my type, is hot enough. So it'll take a couple of minutes for this to warm up, and then I'll be back, and then we're going to start cooking our waffles. Okay, so now that my waffle iron's hot, so I'm going to lightly spray. You can use regular oil too if you wanted to, but I usually just use the spray. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this batter. Let's see if we can do it here so you guys can see. You don't want to overfill this because I can speak from experience. It will spread out and you can make a mess. So I put in 3 of these gravy scoops and we'll see how that works. There we go. So for my maker, you're going to have steam coming out. Can you see that steam coming out there? Let me see if I can turn this off. Maybe you can see it more. When that steam stops rising, that's an indicator to me that my waffle is ready to take off.
Yeah, there it is.
So I'll be back in about a minute or two, and then we'll be done with the first waffle. Well, I still have steam coming up, but I'm going to check it anyway. So if you want your waffle crispier than that, you of course would leave it on a little longer. But I'm one that when I'm having it with my berries, I'm not real crazy about it being super crispy. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. But as you can see, I could have added another probably half of a ladle. So, and I always use a towel with this to keep them warm. So let's go ahead and put another amount in here. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, doesn't that look pretty? I did 4 ladles on this one.
It's a bigger one.
Now, one thing to be careful with when you're using a non-stick waffle maker like I am, if you're going to use a fork like I am, make sure that it doesn't touch your waffle iron. And
Why is that, Miss Glow?
because it'll scratch it.
Fine. Another
I don't
helpful
want to do
tip.
that. That one broke, but it's because it's bigger than those others were. So let's go ahead and do another one here. They smell delicious. There we go. We'll put it down. We'll be back in just a little bit and we'll see how this one turns out. I'll go ahead and cover these up. Ready to take up now, and I decided I should use my rubber spatula. And see how that came up
Good
so much
idea.
better?
Good idea.
Yeah. So now, let's do more.
How many do you have so far, Miss Glow?
I don't know. We'll have to count them up here.
How many do you think are left?
Well, there's probably
How
a
much
half for
battery?
that one.
All right.
But let's
Thank
see,
you
got
for
one,
be Lucy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. That's the 6th, and then probably a half there. Let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, look how nice that is.
Very nice.
So go ahead and take this one up, get underneath it. We're hot. There we go. Cover that up. And then have enough here for just a little bit more.
Lucy, you'll love that one.
There we go. Let's see if I can scrape off a little here. There, that's good. That's going to be a small one, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so we'll be back in just a little bit and I'll be sampling. Well, this is the last one, the tiny one. There we go. Don't those look nice?
Looking good, Miss Glow.
Yeah, so I'm going to close this up for a moment. So I'm put my hand back here to unplug it. And then of course we'll have to let that cool down. But today I'm going to be serving this with blueberries and strawberries that I had washed. And then I sprinkled some sugar on it and added some water to it. And so it made like a simple syrup to go with it. And they've been just soaking in this while I've been making the waffles. So anyway, I'll be serving that with these waffles today. But there's so many different variations you can do. And I'll be doing more videos with waffles as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have, and you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. Give me a like or a thumbs up and a comment. We'll talk to you later. Bye.